Looks like we got our new batch of games for PS Plus Extra and Premium. I don't know what to think about this month. We'll have to dive in and see if I can formulate a better opinion about it. It's looking a little bit sus. I don't know. The price goes up. The amount of content goes down. There's some good ones in here, but generally, I complain about these things far too often. But let's see what is in here. The headliner here is Need for Speed Unbound, and then we got a collection of other games to join it. 9 in the extra tier, 4 in the premium tier, and if you're a Tales fan, you're eating good. It seems like Sony is doing more of these kind of like themed ones. We had the one that had like tons of Star Ocean games in it. 2 of the premium games are Tales games, and 2 of the extra tier games are Tales games. So if you're a Tales fan, you're eating really, really good. But as you'll see with the trophies, trying to get the platinums for some of these Tales games is gonna be a pain. Holy. Oh my god. So without further ado, let's look at the selection. I already said Need for Speed Unbound. That's the headliner for this one. I used to be a huge Need for Speed game player, especially during the PS2 era, where you had bangers like Underground 1 and 2, Most Wanted, Carbon, Hot Pursuit. I used to be a very big player of these games. Then next you got the Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition. Now this is the re-released version of the game that people were not too happy about the performance of it, and it didn't exactly turn out very well, and Obsidian had no say in this version of it. So this wasn't very... let's just say this isn't the best version of the game to play. The original is, even though that one is on the PS4 and this one is on the PS5 with all the extra features that the PS5 will bring to the game. You got Tales of Arise, very popular. I really want to check this out eventually. It's definitely a game I'd love to check out. Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This game, I have it. I have a copy of this game. And I love Vikings. I have a soft spot for Assassin's Creed, even though they've gone in a complete different direction from what I want it to be. And I'd love to play this game, but as we're going to see with the Platinum run, there's a reason why I haven't. You go down, you got Lego Worlds. Interesting choice. Another Lego game. Lego Jurassic World. You got a pair of games I've never heard before. You got Rogue Book and Rogue Lords. I don't know if there's any connection between the two, but you have those games. And then capping off extra, you got Tales of Zestiria. Then we go into the premium tier, and the thing I'm most excited about, finally, after who knows how long, Resistance Retribution. This is the PSP game made by Studio Bend a long time ago, and this thing has boasted that you can play it without the wonky PSP shooter controls that were in like Siphon Filter. And they finally got this thing out. Now we can play it as intended. You got Jet Moto 2, the sequel to the first Jet Moto. I still have to play the first one, and I will play this one subsequently as well. And then you got Tales of Symphonia Remastered and Tales of Vesperia. So, yep, Tales fans eating good. But as you'll see with the Platinum runs, in order to Platinum these 2 games in particular, they take a chunk of you with it. So before we get into 5 games that I think you should check out from this update, I want to say that the easiest game in the lot is definitely going to be Lego Jurassic World. I checked the trophy guide. It's a 2 out of 10. Most Lego games are 2 out of 10s. And then the most difficult, definitely from this, you got Tales of Symphonia. I will show you the trophy guide and you'll see for yourself why. Tales of Vesperia following that, and Tales of Zestiria following that. let's start with our first one, the headliner, of course. You have Need for Speed Unbound, and we got 1 playthrough, 3 out of 10 difficulty, and 40 hours. Now, the thing that has always prevented me from coming back and checking out some of these plats is that they always have multiplayer trophies in them because they have online modes. But when you have online and things get shut down the way they do, a lot of these Need for Speed games end up being unobtainable plats. There are lots of them. Need for Speed The Run, Need for Speed Undercover. From the PS3 era, there aren't many you can still play. I think Need for Speed Shift is just one of them, or Shift 2. I can't remember which one it is. There aren't many you can play still from that era. So that's always one thing that sucks. But here you have your standard complete the story mode, standard open world fair, like Need for Speed. Then you got a bunch of trophies that for the cop chases, which have always been included in here for a very long time, especially with the influence of Hot Pursuit. A gold trophy here, Untouchable Escape, 50 cop chases. Let's see some of the silvers. Serious Guap. Bank 75,000 during one session. One session meaning, for this trophy, you have to do enough mends during a single day or night to collect 75k credits and then successfully make it to the safe house. Don't worry about this trophy during the early weeks of the story. Save it for the later weeks. You'll have access to races with bigger payout so you can collect it faster. Interesting. Gotcha. So do it in the later steps of the story. From what it looks like, you can just focus on the story, clearing that, and then get the trophies after that. There are collectibles. Okay, so you have collectibles here. You have get 3 stars on all speed trap activities. Actually, there's collectibles and side quests. This is one of the side quests, speed trap activities. Collect all collectibles and get 3 star on all activities, cleaning up. So you got to do everything. And it says here, it might take more than 10 hours to collect all the collectibles and complete all the activities, since there are 260 collectibles and 160 activities in total. 10 is just doing this. So a quarter of the time you're looking for collectibles and doing activities. Then finally, you have the Lakeshore Online trophies. It's a separate multiplayer mode with a separate garage and money balance. I prefer them to be intertwined, but okay. Although some unlockable cars from the story mode get copied to the multiplayer garage. So you have trophies here. Complete 25 Lakeshore Online playtests. Okay. Win a Tier S Lakeshore Online playlist. Sorry, not playtest. Playlist. And you have win a Tier A Plus Lakeshore Online playlist. Own 10 vehicles in your Lakeshore Online garage. Complete a Lakeshore Online playlist with 7 other players. That reminds me a lot of Burnout. I don't know. I loved Need for Speed back in the day, but I don't know if I'm willing to come back and check this out. It looks like out of all the Need for Speed plats and the Platinum runs, this looks about right. It fits pretty well into the pantheon of games, but I don't know. For me, not quite. Tales of Arise is here, and I don't agree with this 2 out of 10 difficulty rating. I think that's very low. 2 out of 10 difficulty for this? I heard there are difficulty spikes even while playing on easy, and that seems low. At the least, I would think it'd be a 3 out of 10. 2 out of 10 seems very low. Stage 1, complete the game while working on side content, so you got a ton of things here, including doing some side content like harvests, finding the 32 owls, which is like a collectible, and the second stage here is just side content cleanup. So you have a bunch of things to do here. Subquests like the Otherworldly Visitors subquest. I don't want to read them because there are a lot of spoilers in the description. Forge 100 types of weapons. Learn 400 non-DLC title skills. So that you can't use DLC because this game has DLC. You can't use the DLC to help you complete this part of it. Once you completed the game, save your clear data, and this will be used to continue progressing the remaining trophies you need. Now, for post-game contents, a couple of side quests are only available after clearing the game, so you have end-game content. This includes X Dungeon, the other world, so that's where that gold trophy comes from. You'll be using this new area to max out level grinding and learning all skills available. Oof. Peak strength, reach level 100 entails. So there's going to be a bit of a grind. I guess that's where you get up to 60 hours to do this. Even when playing on easy, I don't think this is a 2 out of 10 personally. I know there's still those difficulty spikes in the game, especially when it comes to the bosses. That's what a lot of people talk about. The killing the mobs is easy. Killing the bosses sometimes is not, even when you feel like you're just decimating the rest of the game. It has a bit of an uneven difficulty. I don't know if they've patched that or addressed that, but 2 out of 10, I don't think so. I think it's more of a 3 out of 10 personally. Here we go. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the game that I want to play, but don't want to deal with this right here. 100 hours seems generous. I've heard this go up to 120 hours for the playthrough, 130, 140, and it's all easy because you're just kind of like completing the story, and then you have a ton of different things to do after that, like complete all territories, defeat all alpha animals, base game only, obtain all video fragments and watch the hidden truth video. This is standard stuff that are in Ubisoft open world games, where you go bases, flags, challenges, territories, like finishing everything in a territory to get the territory. This is basic 101 Ubisoft fare. Order of the Ancients. This stage focuses on eliminating all the members of the Order of the Ancients, Wardens and Zealots. Out of 45 members, 13 are assassinated as part of the story. It says this will take around 5 hours depending on how many you've killed in the previous stages. So you want to do that for the Disorder of the Ancients trophy. And then you have tons of cleanup. There's lots of miscellaneous trophies. Assassinate 10 enemies in a row without triggering a conflict. So that's a stealthy trophy. Ram and destroy 5 boats in under 2 minutes with your longship. So ship combat kind of situation. You got stuff to grab, like Thor's helmet, cool. Wield Mjolnir, cool. Fully upgrade and enhance a piece of gear, ultimate refinement. This game just keeps you busy, and busy. And guess what? After that, if you want 100%, it doesn't end there, because you have the base game and then you have 8 DLC packs. 8 DLC packs of various amounts of content. So some of these have like 10 or 9 trophies in it. Some of them have 1 trophy in it. For like challenge pack stuff. There's just too much for this game. I don't know, maybe if it would be worth it if I did like a huge video where I did every single Assassin's Creed, you know, like those big ass iCarly videos like that Quentin Reviews does, where I have like, it's like 6 to 9 hours of like that. Maybe it's more worth it, then I can include this game in it. I wouldn't be releasing content for a very long time. Then we got The Outer Worlds, and as you can see, I have a couple trophies from this, but I never finished it. It's just not my type of game, like the Western RPG. Even though I have the plat for Skyrim, that was a place and time kind of game for me, but I've tried Fallout 3 a couple times, couldn't get into it. I tried this and I wasn't quite feeling it, but that doesn't mean you won't be feeling it. This is the trophy guide, 4 out of 10, 3 playthroughs, 45 hours. Your first playthrough consists of beating it and doing miscellaneous trophies and and a bunch of missable trophies. This game has a lot of missable trophies. Destroyer of Worlds had 75 or higher negative reputation with 3 factions. I think there's one here. Everybody Likes Me had 75 or higher positive reputation with 3 factions. I guess you could do it in one playthrough. If there, I'm not sure how many factions are in the game, but it looks like you can do that. It says here, in this stage you will create a dumb character in which you will use for a specific trophy. Make sure you make the opposite choices you made in the first playthrough so that you can solely focus on beating the game on Supernova difficulty last. This playthrough can be combined with the Supernova playthrough if you want, though a third run may be necessary to only focus on completing the Supernova difficulty as fast as possible. So in this one, these are the opposite choices of the ones you made in the other playthrough, your first playthrough, and it says you can combine it with here the Supernova playthrough. Complete the Outer Worlds on Supernova difficulty if you want to focus on getting this done faster, because you can rush this game. I've seen a video of someone beat this game in 12 minutes or something like that, 20 minutes, something very low like that. Maybe you want to spread these out and just keep them separate. But that's the Outer Worlds. Not quite my type of game, but I do think Obsidian is a great developer. I'm very looking forward to Avowed. Obsidian is a good studio. I just couldn't get into this game, but that's more the genre's fault than Obsidian's fault. Finally, I was going to take a look at a trophy guide from one of the premium Tales games, but then I looked and holy shit. 6 out of 10 difficulty for Vesperia, 3 playthroughs, 175 hours, and Symphonia is not any better. 7 out of 10, 4 playthroughs, 150 hours. Oh, Jesus. This is a little better, Tales of Zestiria, but it's also 6 out of 10 difficulty, 2 playthroughs, 90 hours is half the amount of time the other ones are going to take you. Tales fans, these games look difficult as hell. I'm going to pick Symphonia. Let's use this one. Mainly, I was going to pick Vesperia, but the guide trophies are, as you can see, like this. The trophies are in English when you play the English version, but this guide was made for the Japanese PS3 release, which of course we never got in the West on the PS3 because Xbox decided to take the exclusivity of that one for the West. So looking through the guide without spoiling too much, the reason why there are so many playthroughs of this is that the first playthrough, you're going to collect everybody in your party, and there are different, I don't know if they're exactly choices or just outcomes of things you do. There are certain things that you can only get in one playthrough, and then on your second playthrough, you have to New Game Plus to get all of your stuff to come with you, and that will help you grind out your level, and you'll also get other choices that you couldn't make while you're playing the playthrough because it is dynamic. It says here there is a third playthrough. It says getting tired yet. If you haven't gotten the 100 hours trophy yet, you'll be getting in this playthrough. Yes, there is a trophy that says 100 hours. You played 100 hours. Thanks for playing. I hope you were playing. Yeah, I'd leave it on too if I could, as long as it counts. So this is all working towards this trophy too. There are certain things you have to collect and certain characters that you have to have on your team and upgrade them a certain way. And then the last playthrough, hopefully, If you haven't gotten Gung Ho, Treasure Hunter, or Gigolo yet, this is your last chance before you go into extra playthroughs. Precia has obtained all titles. You're working towards getting all titles for all of the characters, and I guess you can't do that in one playthrough. I guess you can't do that in 2 or 3 playthroughs. You might even have to do a 4th playthrough. To complete the collector's book is the main goal, and then to get all titles for your characters. And there are a lot of characters in this game, like Lloyd, Colette. Those are the classic 2. And then you got more: Genus, Rain, Sheena, Zelos, Precia, Regal, and Kratos. This is a mess. If you're dedicated, you'll play this one. If you want something to wet your feet with, definitely check out Tales of Arise. And if I had to choose which games to check out from this update, I think I would choose Tales of Arise. I would choose Resistance Retribution, because that is a classic Resistance game. It's excellent. Definitely, if you have premium, check that out, or if you just want to buy it a la carte, it's an option as well. And then I'd probably choose Need for Speed Unbound if you're looking for a racing game. I think that would be a good one. Those are the 3 games I would suggest to check out from this update. Let me know down in the comments section if you're going to check out anything in particular. If you're a dedicated Tales fan, are you going to play Symphonia or Vesperia and try to get those plats? I imagine those plats must be rare as hell. Let me see. What do we got? 2.86% for the Symphonia Master. 1.6. You know what I find often? The people who are JRPG aficionados, they tend to finish their games. I always find that the JRPG platinums are always higher than normal. You could have like a game like, I think something I'm playing recently, I think Rock Band 4 is the easiest version of a Rock Band plat that you could get. You still got to play all 4 instruments, but if you're a guitarist, I think that game is very, very easy to get the plat, and it's a 0.1%. And then you have something here that takes 175 hours to complete it, which is a lot of work. And you have to be very meticulous not to miss certain things, or you're going to play extra playthroughs on top of those 4, and it's a 1.6. I just find that people who play JRPGs tend to finish their games more, and kudos to that. That's an incredible thing. Like, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a hard game. In my opinion, it's a hard game, but people finish that game and get the plat. They go through hard mode and do it. That's how dedicated they are. So kudos to those people who are doing that. You do me proud. But that was a side tangent. I want to hear what you guys think about the update and what games you're going to play. I hope all your trophy hunting expeditions completing Tales games goes incredibly well. And peace out.